Jagged, Jayamasters. There are two types of lives that you can live on this planet. One is a life of need, and there is a life of ecstasy, fulfillment, joy. They are mutually exclusive. It is amazing how little people know. People think that needs are holy, that they somehow are the answer to everything. If you need something, you know you're not comfortable. But if you know what you need, then if you get it, you'll be comfortable. That's why needs are respected and liked so much. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like if somebody's hurting you, you like it because you know when they stop it'll feel better. That's what needs are to someone who understands. Needs don't feel good. Get it straight. There's not a single thing or a single time you ever had a need that it felt good. What feels good is the thought of fulfilling it. I'll tell you right now, all right? But having the need is not comfortable. Needs are not comfortable, all right? I need someone to love. Well, isn't that wonderful? You want to stay that way? No, it's not comfortable. I need to eat. Oh, good. You like it. It's fun. Don't have any food. No. The only reason a need is of any value to a normal human being is because the thought of fulfilling it is a thought of feeling better, because I don't feel good with the need. Again, I always tell you, we're not having a discussion about renunciation. We're having a discussion about right understanding. A need is uncomfortable. Unquestionably fulfilling it, or even the thought of fulfilling it, is more comfortable than the need itself. It's an uncomfortable situation. I love somebody. I need her so much. It's so romantic. Okay, I'll take you in a room and I'll lock you in the room with your need and you'll never get to see her. No. Well, I thought you liked your need. No. You don't like needs, except they signal to you a way to feel better. So if you live a life of need, you will live a life of attempting to fulfill your needs. So you will be out there trying to take. Somebody who has needs is a taker, not a giver, because I have a need. Therefore, I need to find in the world that which will make me feel better about it. So by definition, then, I am out here taking. Do you understand that? I'm in a relationship because I have needs. I am working because I need money. That's why I work. That's why you work, isn't it? Because I need money. Because I need to buy things that I think will take care of my needs. It just becomes an entire ocean of commotion. So it becomes a battle. There is no way that need does not lead to conflict, because the world doesn't always unfold the way you want. In fact, it rarely does it? Not by itself. It's not just going to unfold in accordance to my needs. Why would it? So basically you realize that if I have these needs, then what will happen is I will have to go out there and struggle with the world to try to take care of myself. And it will always be about me. You're in relationships, and then you want to break up a relationship, and somebody says, why? It's just not working for me anymore. What does that mean? When I met you, I had needs, and you seemed to satisfy them. Somehow, the way you wore your hair, your clothes, your giggle, the way you were, whatever the heck it is, the way you treated me, what your accent. Oh, I loved your accent. You have this beautiful Southern or British accent. Oh, it's neat. It turned me on. Me. All right? In other words, I'm not okay, and you made me feel better. Perfectly reasonable. And because you make me feel better, then you will be able to fulfill me. The minute you don't make me feel better, what's going to happen? Then it's not working for me anymore. That's what it means when they say it's not working for me anymore, doesn't it? Okay? So nothing wrong with that, except that it doesn't work. That's the only thing wrong with needs, is that you never fulfill them, and they never stay fulfilled, and there's always an infinite number of them. It doesn't ever stop. Nobody has ever reached fulfillment by going after their needs. You can get inspired, you want a new car. Well, what happens once you get it? Lots of people have new cars. They're not in samadhi. They're not in ecstasy. They didn't reach nirvana. If you don't fulfill a need, you feel terrible because you don't have your needs fulfilled. And you get jealous because other people have their needs fulfilled. And you feel resentful because things got in the way of you fulfilling your needs. And you can hold that for years and years and years, can't you? I had a need and I didn't get it. All right? If you do fulfill your need, now this is very hard for you to talk about. If you do fulfill your need, I'm talking about every single time. If you fulfill your needs, you get tired of it. It has to change. There has to be newness to it. It gets old, doesn't it? It's literally, some of you know me, I actually went through a doctorate didn't finish it, went through a doctorate in economics. Well, they used to teach you a law. It was called the law of diminishing returns. And it was taught to you in school, right? That is a fact, that a human being who gets something doesn't want it as much as they wanted it before they got it. Well, that's by definition, isn't it? You wanted it, you didn't have it, then you got it. Of course you don't want it as much. I got it. Well, what happens the second time you get it? Well, it's kind of nice, but not as nice, is it? Well, but third time, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10, every day. I'll give you your most special favorite meal that you've ever had. You love it, cooked by the greatest chef that would ever live. You've dreamt of this. How's it? Great. Oh, my God. I went into this state. It sent me to ecstasy. Great. You want it again tomorrow night? Yeah. Okay. Very good. You want it the next night? Yeah. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, 4 days in a row? Give me Brussels sprouts. There is a law of diminishing returns. Have you noticed that when you get your new car, it's exciting for a while, it smells new, it's this and that, you get to take your friends around in it and show off, that's part of it, okay, you get to do these things, but once all your friends have gotten into it, and you've had it for a period of time, not very long by the way, 3 months, 6 months, you've had it for a period of time, it is exactly the same as your other car. It's your car. You just get in the car and you go to work, all right? It doesn't do it for you anymore. It doesn't turn you on. It doesn't seem different. Same thing with your new house that cost you your life's worth of mortgage. And it stops turning you on. And there's nothing wrong with you. It's the law. Why? Why do you think people keep remodeling their houses? Rich people got it made. No, they don't. They have to repaint the kitchen every other day. Why? Because it's not new anymore. So what? It doesn't turn me on. There is a law of diminishing returns. So not getting what you want freaks you out. And you get resentful and emotions and all kinds of garbage, jealousies and etc., right? Getting what you want doesn't last. You have to want something else, right or wrong. Some people teach you that's what it's all about. Just go from want to want to want to want and go do your life. How often, if you do that, are you going to feel the joy of the newness and the inspiration of having gotten what you want? It lasts for a moment. Then you're not in the car, you're not in the house. Then you come home for a while, it's okay. And you only get a tiny fraction. I ask people, of all the breaths you have taken in your life, which is a lot, what percentage were taken in a state of being that you would die for? That you would trade anything to keep that state? You've had some. You've had a couple of peak moments, haven't you? Moments. Okay? Might as well call it a peak experience. It was at the top of his hierarchy, right? People don't get there, and they don't get there very often. But you have had high experiences. Take the highest you ever had, think about how nice it was, and then tell me what percentage of the breaths that you've taken were in that state. Because it's 0.0000001, isn't it? That's why. I'm teaching you why. We come to these classes to learn, all right? What they don't teach you, not in these classes. They worship needs. Nothing wrong with needs. Nothing at all. I'm not saying they're wrong. I just want to look at it for a minute. It doesn't work to devote your life to fulfilling your needs. Nobody has ever fulfilled their needs. The richest people in the world are running around trying to fulfill their needs, aren't they? They get divorced, remarried, buying new planes, running all over the place. Why are they doing all that? Because they can. Yeah, but why would you want to do all that? Because I'm not okay. I'm not okay, and I'm trying to be okay. And they do drugs, and they do this, and they do everything. They drink a lot and do all kinds of weird things. Okay? Same thing with the most beautiful people, same thing with the most successful people. There is no such thing. It's human nature. When you get something, it feels like it's going to do it for you. It rings your bell. That bell does not stay rung. So then you have to find something else to try and get. Right. Now, what's wrong with this? Nothing's wrong with it. Just if you look at the table, the kind of the overall spectrum of how much of your time you're going to spend in joy and in enthusiasm and excitement and love if you do this. Well, you're not going to get it if you don't get what you want. You're not going to get it if other people get what you want, that's for sure, all right? And you're not going to get it if you get what you want and get tired of it and you get bored have to do more things. So there isn't very much winning there. You catch on that there's something wrong with that game. Well, before I give up that game, is there a better one? Is there a better game in town? The answer is yes, there's a better game in town. And it works. But it takes some work for you to open up enough to listen to it. This is how it works. I have a need. Why? That's a very different question. I have a need. Why? Not I have a need, what do I do about it? That's a totally different question. If I have a need, it's why do I have to do anything about it? Because it's bothering me. Needs bother you. They stimulate you to do something. Why? Because they're not comfortable. They're not comfortable. No matter what need you have, no matter what it is, it's not comfortable. And therefore you have to do something about it. And what you normally do when you feel a need is to say, how do I satisfy this? How do I take care of this? Or in essence, you ask, what do I do about this? And the mind starts thinking. Do it in slow motion. It starts thinking, plotting, planning, thinking, strategizing. What can I do about this? Well, I feel lonely. I can call so-and-so. I can go to a bar. I can go over here. I heard there's a party down the street. Doesn't the mind do that? It tries to think about what I can do to take care of this need. So it pushes you outside. It pushes you. When you ask the question, I have a need, what do I do about it? The mind will do where does the mind get the idea? Your mind says something different than her mind. And I'm telling you right now, your mind will say something different a week from now than what it said now about the same thing. Okay? Stuff that used to turn you on turns you off now, doesn't it? Last place in the world I ever want to go. Well, you wanted to go last week. I know, I was last week. Why? Why does that happen? Because your mind has a data set that it's going to use to answer the question of what do I do about this? Your mind is your computer. Your mind is your friend. It is not evil. It is not bad. It's broken, but it's a wonderful tool. It is a computer. It's more personal than your little smartphone, way more personal. It's your personal computer. You have to go to your smartphone to say, what's her name? Your mind tells you. And it does math for you, and it has a reminder system, right? Oh, God, it's supposed to go so-and-so. I almost forgot. Who told you that? Your mind did. So your mind is an inboard computer that's built in there, and you don't need a flat screen. You don't need anything. You don't need keyboard, mouse, nothing. I tell you, it's pretty sci-fi. Because you got a computer built in there. Just with will, you make it work. 2 plus 2, 4. Wow. How come it did that for you? You told it to. I said it. You don't have to say it. Just will it, right or wrong. Right? See a boat. See a boat. Make your mind see a boat. Bigger. Bigger. Cruise ship. It does it. It does what you tell it to do. It's an inboard computer. All right. So your mind has data. Your mind's going to answer the question when you ask, I have a need. What do I do about this? And that's what you're asking your mind. What do I do about this? All the time. He was supposed to call. Why didn't he call? Here you go. Go to your mind. You do. He's 15 minutes for a call. Why? Now listen to me carefully. Your mind does not know why he did not call during those 15 minutes. But you went to it anyways. And why don't you just go to the garbage can? Oh, garbage can. Why didn't he call? Or ask your hand. Oh, hand. Why didn't he call? Right? It's like you wouldn't do that. But you go to your mind. It's cute as a button. You go to your computer. You Google. Oh, what's it called? Okay, Google. Is that what it is? Siri, why didn't he call? So you go to your mind, and your mind has data. And by the way, it doesn't have data about that either. It might have some, but really it doesn't have data specifically as to why he didn't call for 15 minutes. It could be a lot of different reasons. But your mind has the data of your past experiences. Yours has different data than yours. Tomorrow, yours will have different data than it has today because you will have had more experiences. That's why it keeps changing, because you have more experiences. You like something a whole lot, then you read a book, and it talked about that thing and wasn't good things that happened, but it was a novel, it was fiction. Doesn't matter. I'm telling you don't like the thing anymore. I used to like bananas. No. You're so cute. It's adorable. All right? Whatever gets put in the mind becomes data for the mind. So when you feel need and you come up and you ask your mind, oh mind, what do I do about this? Your mind has no choice but to take the data and rearrange it in different ways. How many different ways? How many times your mind changed its mind about why he didn't call? Maybe he got in an accident. No, he's fought with somebody else. I know it. No, well, I don't think he would do that. I don't want to think like that anyways. Okay. All right. Maybe he had a flat. All right. Maybe I got my time wrong. Oh my God, let me check the appointment again. In other words, it's just rearranging the data. It just rearranges the data to see if it can come up with something that sounds comfortable to you. Sounds like it's going to be a little better than something else. You follow me? And what the answer is about is attempting to satisfy your need. Let you feel better about your fear. Let you feel, oh, wait up tomorrow. Oh my God, yeah, I'll get to do this tomorrow. That'll be great. It does that. Your mind tries to either help you or hurt you. So that's one way that you live. You feel the need. You go to the mind and you say, what do I do about this? Then the mind tells you, all right? And that's hard enough to decide, isn't it? Hard enough to decide what to do about it. Now you got to go make it happen. That's why life is a struggle. That's why life is a bear. That's why you use all the expressions that you do. It's tough. It is not tough. You're sitting on a little ball of dirt spinning around a star. It's been going on for 4.5 billion years. You drop down for a few, and you're telling me it's tough. It's not tough. You come down here, you spin around. I told you. Honest answer. What'd you do today? 360. That's what you all did today. Now what about this year? What'd you do this year? A big 360. Did you have to pedal hard? No, it kind of does it by itself. You kind of sit down there and it goes for a ride. You think you're laughing. You don't understand how deep it is what we're talking about. All right? This whole thing about what I just said about the planet and you on it, and this whole thing about needs, they're very interrelated. Okay? Like I said to you, life is easy. The greatest spiritual line ever written, and that's been said by many people, and I agree, is the first line, the opening line of what's called the Treatise on Faith Mind by the third Zen patriarch. It's very deep. It's very deep. But the first line is a mind blower. The great way is not difficult for those who have no preferences. What does that mean? What I just told you. You're spinning on a planet in the middle of nowheres. Having fun, I hope. No. Why? Because I have preferences. Do you understand that? Because it's not okay with me he didn't call. It's not okay when she's wearing the same dress that I bought and it was supposed to be special for the prom. It's just not okay. What's not okay? Pretty much everything. It's not okay that there's some crab weave on my front lawn in my nice subdivision. It's not okay that my hair's turning gray. I'm getting, oh my gosh, it's not okay. I'm getting old. It's not okay that they say I'm going to die. I don't want to die. So if the great way is not difficult for those who have no preferences, all of the ways are very difficult for those who have preferences. Pretty deep in it. Doesn't mean you have to do anything about it. I just want you to understand how deep that line is. It happens to be the truth, isn't it? If you were okay with everything, how would you be? Okay with everything. The great way is not difficult for those who have no preferences. Now, I know you're not ready to go there yet. I don't want you to think, well, what if terrible things happen? Am I okay? Just be calm. We'll get there. So basically, these needs are about not being okay. When you have needs, you're not okay. Let's get that straight. You have to do something about them. You're not okay. What you do about them is what your mind tells you to do about them, which is just based upon your past experiences, which is pretty small. I've discussed that with you. Some of you guys are new. Let's do it once. Some of you think, hey, I've been around the world. I've had a lot of experiences. Ready? Right now you're having an experience, right or wrong. How many are you missing? How many other things are going on everywhere that you're not experiencing right now? Outside, in every house all over the world, under the ground, up in the sky. Let's get off the planet, every other planet. How many things are going on that you are not experiencing? Okay, so you're experiencing 0.00000000001 to the minus 1 billion. That's what you're experiencing of what's going on. So your experience is round to zero. They are what we call statistically insignificant. If all I'm experiencing is this, and I'm going to base my understanding of life based on my experiences, I don't know much about life, do I? The data you have is meaningless. It's meaningless. To you, it's everything. It's all I have. But if all you have is nothing, let's not make a big deal out of it. Do you see that I'm telling you the truth? It's nothing. You've missed everything. Therefore, the data you have in your mind is not trustworthy. So if you sit there and try to figure out why he didn't call for 15 minutes, and the last time that happened, a couple of years ago with your other boyfriend, he showed up 15 minutes late, you were raging mad to yell at him, covered with these gorgeous flowers and said, this is our 90-day anniversary. I'll bet you forgot it. And I just had to fit it all in the car. It took me 3 trips. You didn't say nothing, did you? You got real quiet. If that was your last experience of somebody not calling in 15 minutes, you're excited about what's going to happen. Because that's the data you have in there. All right? If on the other hand, and I don't want to make one up for you, it was the 15 minutes from hell, and it was the end of the relationship, and it was a terrible thing, right? Man, it's 5 minutes you're freaking out. Skinner said, man is the sum of his learned experiences. It's not true. Your mind is the sum of his learned experiences. Do you understand that? You're not. You're the one who notices that your mind is the sum of learned experiences, right? You got nothing in there but your learned experiences. How can your mind do anything but put together your learned experiences different ways? So basically, when you have these needs, but they're not comfortable, and you say, what do I do about it? You go to the mind, which doesn't know anything. You don't understand how wonderful life is once you understand your mind doesn't know anything. It can't know anything, right? You meet somebody. You don't know them. Wait till you see your mind make up about them. Oh, she wears glasses. My sister wore glasses. But my sister was a little insecure because she didn't like the glasses. So I don't want to mention anything about the glasses. She happens to be, she loves her glasses, right? In fact, she doesn't even need them. She just likes them when she puts them on. Right? You're wrong. You're just projecting your past experiences onto every single thing you're experiencing. You go to a Chinese restaurant and a roach runs across the floor. 5 years later, someone says, hey, let's go Chinese. No, I don't eat Chinese. You only know the sum of your learned experiences, which are nothing, compared to all the experiences you could have had. Does that make sense to you? You understand that? All right. So when you have the needs, you go to the mind and say, what do I do about it? I'm telling you, it just rearranges, doesn't matter what mood it's in, and comes up with something, and then changes its mind constantly, because it's easier to make different iterations and combinations. That's why it's hard to make decisions. And so you go out there, then you have to try and make it happen. All right, that's one way of living. I told you there's another way. It starts right at the same place. It doesn't start with no needs. You are who you are. It is what it is. Yeah, that's your grab bag. All right, surprise package about what it is, right? You don't know what's going to come up next. All right, so all of a sudden it comes up. That's fine. The need, not okayness. That's what a need is, not okay. I'm not okay. What is a need? I'm not okay, so I need something. If you are okay, you don't need anything. You're in the arms of your beloved. He or she's been gone for whatever long time, and they've come home, and it's a surprise, and oh my God, you're melting in the arms, and all of a sudden, I'm going to come there and nap you on the shoulder. What do you need right now? Get away from me. I don't need anything. Right or wrong? I am fulfilled. I am whole. Well, if you're whole and fulfilled, you don't need anything, by definition. If you are not okay, you got needs. What is the need? The attempt to be okay. How about if I define that? A need is an attempt to be okay. A need is an indication that you're not okay. Watch. Well, I need a Band-Aid. Because you're okay? No, I'm not okay. Why would I need a Band-Aid if I was okay? Right? You need something because something's wrong. If all of it's right, you just ate. You're satisfied. You want something to eat? No. Why? You're renouncing food? No, I'm not renouncing food. I'm okay. If I'm okay, I don't have needs. I'm in love. My heart's full. All right? You want to go travel around the world without the person? No. I want to stay right here. Anytime you are fulfilled, there are no needs. Needs are an indication of a problem, that something is wrong. So you have the need, and then instead of saying what's wrong, listen to me, this is the crux of the talk. Instead of saying what's wrong, that I feel this need, you're saying, what do I do about it? Does anybody see the difference? One introspects. It says, what's wrong with me that I feel lonely? And the answer is not that I don't have a boyfriend. That's the attempt to fulfill the needs. That's the mind saying, well, if I had somebody, I wouldn't be lonely. You know, lots of people have people that are very lonely, okay? They don't have any satisfaction. They got to run around and do many other things. So the problem is I feel uncomfortable. It creates a need to what? It's always the same need, by the way. There's only one need, to feel comfortable. The only need you have is the need to feel good, is the need to feel whole, is the need to feel contented, satisfied, loved. whether it shows up as a need because it's lonely, it shows up as a need because I have this, it shows up as a need, blah, 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 blah. I need to be respected. I need for people to like me. It's all the same thing. I'm not okay. I need to be okay. How about we say that? Need means I'm not okay. What do you need to be okay? The problem is you don't say that. You say, I need a girl, I need a boy, I need this, I need a car, I need money, I need a raise, I need a better job, I need a better career, I need a thing, I need to be respected, I need to get rid of this glass ceiling, I need all these things, because the mind is going to take its past experiences and say, put those together, and they'll tell you what it is that you need in order to be okay. The mind is making up stuff. It's like going to Siri. Siri, what do I need? I'll tell you something. She's programmed to tell you something. Right? Your mind is programmed to tell you something. You don't want to go to your mind. Watch this. Oh, mind, I'm not happy. What do? I don't think there's anything you can do. Wow, that's sad, man. I don't want to do that. Trade that mind in for a better one, okay? So instead it says, oh, if you get rich and you drive a Ferrari and everybody's attracted to you and you get a beautiful guy or girl hanging out with you so that everybody's jealous of you, and if every place you go and you walk in, they get quiet and they look at you and they kind of hang their head a little bit, then you'll be okay. So the need really is to be okay. But the mind doesn't know anything about that. It hasn't had that experience very often. Remember, we talked about that. So it only knows about the moments or the movies it saw, or the book it read, or what Sally got when she seemed to be happy, right? It just knows about these experiences, and then it tells you, go outside and get to work to make happen what you need in order to be okay. All right. The alternative is as follows. There is a state inside of you that there are no needs. I mean, they're physical needs. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your psychological needs. You can be whole and complete within yourself. So filled with joy, filled with love, filled with Shakti, filled with Chi, spirit, call it whatever you want, right? That you're being fed from inside all the time, every moment, never a second that you're not. It's just always welling up inside of you, feeding you. That is your natural state. There is a reason that is not happening. So that when you feel not fulfilled or a need, right, the real question is, why? Why am I feeling this? Not what do I do about it? So basically, if you start with the real question, which is, I'm lonely. Why? Why am I lonely? Don't tell me because I don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. That's my attempt to fulfill the need that I got because I'm not okay. So the question is, why am I lonely? And what you're going to realize, it takes time. But the other takes time too. It takes your whole life to try and get what you want, and it never works. All right? It takes time to realize you are blocked. There is energy inside of you. It is beautiful. It is always there. It is always flowing. But there is a reason it is blocked. And that's why you don't feel whole. It's not because you don't have something. It's because you stored something inside of you that has blocked the natural flow of your energy. If I sit there and grab your arm and squeeze it real tight and your whole hand starts turning blue, don't sit there and say, I need some dye. It doesn't look natural. I need an artist or somebody to paint my hand. No, that's not the answer. That's not dealing with the problem. The problem is I'm constricting your blood flow. If you want things to be right forever and not have to struggle with them and play stupid games like painting your hand or hiding it or a glove, I don't know what you're going to do, right? Remove the tourniquet and everything's going to be fine. So there was a reason that the hand wasn't doing well. And you dealt with the reason instead of trying to make it look like the hand's going to do well. If you are lonely and you find somebody and you sit there and tell me I'm not lonely anymore, what if he dies? What if he leaves you? What if he runs off with somebody else? How you doing? Not lonely anymore? You said that to me. You're not lonely anymore. Want to bet? You want to bet it comes right back? Want to bet it never left? All you did was put a Band-Aid over it. All you did was distract yourself from it. But you knew it was in there, didn't you? That's why you got jealous when he danced with somebody else. That's why you were afraid because you're building it on top of, Christ said, do not build your house on sand. Didn't you say that? You're building your house on this garbage. You're literally building the house on top of the garbage that's making you build it that way. I'm not okay. Well, there's something wrong with not being okay. Instead of fixing that I'm not okay, I'm going to go out there and try to compensate for the fact that I'm not okay. How about if I say it that way? And I'm going to build my house on sand because it shifts right away. The minute something happens, it falls apart. Ever have it fall apart? It can fall apart like that, can't it? And you don't realize you're building it on top of this garbage. And when it falls apart, all the stuff comes back up at once and you're in big trouble. All right. Again, what is the alternative? When you are not feeling comfortable, I'm not going to call it a need yet. I'm going to say you feel uncomfortable. That will turn into a need when you attempt to try to find out what will make you comfortable. Then you need that. Okay, I hope you're hearing these sentences. I'm being very careful with my words, all right? But you stay with I'm uncomfortable. Whoa. Stay with I'm uncomfortable. You stay with being uncomfortable. And you sit there and say, not what do I do about it? Why? Why am I uncomfortable? Why can't I sit alone by myself in the evening and be comfortable? Why? Why? Why can't I go on a vacation and whatever the hotel room is, it is what it is, and the weather is whatever it is? Why do I have to be uncomfortable about everything? Why does it have to be uncomfortable inside? That's a great question. It's always the same reason. You're uncomfortable many different ways, but it's always for the same reason. Because I know for a fact that deep inside of you, you're very comfortable. You're way beyond comfortable. Take those moments I said that you've had, one of them, where you were at a peak experience, right? And have them go on all the time. There's those moments, not some moment I'm making up, some moment Christ or Buddha talked about. Your moments of the absolute highest. Your first time you held your child, for that first kiss with the most special person, right? When you graduated, and everybody clapped, and you played your band. You were in a band in high school, and you got hired, and you doing. Oh my God, it was just so high, wasn't it? So just take your peak moments and realize, what if they went on all the time? What if that stayed? What if that was just constantly what's going on inside of me? You have to reach a point of understanding there is a reason that is not going on in there. And it's always the same reason. You have blocked the energy flow. It's yoga. It's spirituality. You have blocked the energy flow so that it can't flow up. That's why you don't feel whole. That's why you don't feel complete. That's why your heart is not open. That's why you don't feel bright and sharpness with your mind, but you get spacey, and that's why you get moody. Your energy flow is blocked. So you get down to, it's always the same reason. How you like that? Everything you ever feel, any problem you ever have is always for the same reason. The Shakti is not flowing through this chakra system. Because I tell you right now, I don't care whether you know chakras or not, that energy flow through that system, you ain't got a problem in the world. You're just filled with joy and love and high and peace and well-being, and not a thing can touch you. That's your natural state. Why is it not that way? Did I offend God? No, there's no such thing. Did I do bad things so bad that I don't deserve that? No such thing. There are blockages that can be put in the way of the flow. And if they are blocked, you will not feel the flow. There's a river flowing. I'm going to build a dam. I wonder what happens downstream. They don't get to feel the flow. It's the same thing inside. If you block the flow of the current, of the energy, then you don't get to feel it. Your consciousness is above it. It's blocked below. It doesn't come up and feed you. Christ said, man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that leaveth the mouth of the Father. What does he mean by that? Exactly what I've been talking about. You don't live just off of what's coming in from outside. You're not talking about bread. He's talking about outside experiences. When they come in, they feed you. But that's not the only way you get fed. You get fed from deep inside, this river of joy, this chi, spirit, call it whatever you want, that's flowing inside. That is, but by every word that leaveth the mouth of the Father. You find that stream. That's what you do in yoga. You find that stream. When you find a current coming up, in the springs, you can dive down and see where it comes from, can't you? Just follow the current down. You'll see where it comes from. When this energy is flowing up inside of you, you can dive into it and see where it comes from. And when they did, every master who ever did said it merged in God. Christ said, my Father and I are one. Buddha went into the absolute nirvana. Meher Baba said, man minus mind equals God. It's all said the same thing. That when you're done and you follow that flow back, its source is way beyond you. Its source is oneness. So basically, when you come in and you're not feeling okay, the question becomes, why not? I've told you it's because you're blocked. Now, that doesn't mean anything to you. What does that mean? I'm blocked. Why would I be blocked? All right? I don't like to teach. I like to give example. All right? So let's give a slow motion example of what it means to be blocked. Ready? Okay, it's the one I always use, so if you heard it before, it's okay. You drive to work every single day, and you pass down 34th Street and 23rd Avenue. You drive down there, and you drive to work every day. There's a light there, and you drive past it and do a thing. Nothing. No change in your state of being, nothing. Then all of a sudden, one day, somebody runs the light. You ram on your brakes. Your car spins around. You drive really well, and you stop, and you didn't hit them, and whew, You're off the side of the road. Woo, your heart's beating a mile a minute. Okay, there, very good. You had an experience. Now, tomorrow, you got Fred in the car, you're driving to work, you start to approach the intersection. Just look me in the eyes. Nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. Nothing changes in your mind, nothing changes in your heart, no fast heart beating or anything like that. Yeah, fat chance, right? It gets weird, doesn't it? You start to feel weird, you start to feel scared, you start to feel uncomfortable, right? How long can that go on for? That's pretty funny. I know people that move because they don't want to live here anymore because it happened. Wow, far out. It stays in there for a while. That's a blockage. Just so we don't get weird, that's a blockage. That blocked your energy flow. Your energy flow was fine, normally driving down that street. Now something happened and you stored it inside of you. You may think that's innocent. You may think you're over it. But the moment somebody says, oh, you see the house, there's a lot for sale on 39th. No, I ain't going over there. And you honestly believe that there's something more dangerous about that intersection than any other in town? There's not. You drove through it 1,000 times. You didn't think it was dangerous, right? It's just some idiot ran the red light. He could have run it anyway. If he ran it down the next intersection, you wouldn't think that way if you weren't there. All right. You stored that experience inside of you, did you not? And you stored it with all the power of fear and anxiety and so on. That, I'm telling you, is blocking your energy flow. That is not sitting there comfortable. That is not innocent. It is not natural. It is not, well, of course. No, don't you let them sell you that. That does not belong in there. That is going to mess you up for the rest of your life. So now you got one thing stored in there, this almost accident on 39th and 23rd. How about the boyfriend who left you in high school? How about the other one? What about this? What about that? What about Sally when she say hello and you were with your friends and you go, Sally, hi, and she just kept walking and woo, it's 10 years ago. You got some stuff in there? The answer is yes, you have. And if you want to know about it, if you don't think you have, just watch your whole day. Somebody says something, it hits something, and you got stuff in there that can get hit. Those are the blockages. This is not mystical. This is not weird. It's just truth. You have stored inside of your being all of these experiences that were uncomfortable to you. Why did you store them? Because they were uncomfortable to me. Well, if they're uncomfortable to you, let them go. I don't understand why you want to keep them. Do you go to dinner and there's food you didn't really like, it made you a little bit sick, and ask for a doggy bag to take it home? But you do it with your bad experiences. You store them inside of you and you keep them for your whole life. Those are blocking your energy flow. This is the crux of the most important thing you'll ever learn. Those things are not innocent. They're not okay down there as long as nothing touches them. And if something does hit them and they start coming back up, mommy and daddy and fears and things, right? And you sit there and say, no, I told you I don't like to talk about that. Give me a minute. All right? You don't want that minute? You don't want them not to talk about it. I know that's what you're going to do, but I'm telling you that is an indication of what is in there screwing up your life. Because the fact that it's not coming up right then does not mean it's not down there doing its dastardly deed of blocking your energy flow. And if you have all those blocks, it's very hard for somebody to open you up. Very hard for your heart to open, isn't it? It's very hard for somebody to behave exactly right, that they don't hit your stuff. And don't kid yourself about your stuff, because it's very strong. You fall in love with somebody, you're from love at first sight, you go on dates, it's so exciting, you're telling everybody you thought you met your soulmate, right? Have them say or do one thing that comes within 1,000,000 miles of the crap you got stored in there, and you ain't going out with that person ever again. I can't believe you would do that. My father used to do that. It's been dead for 20 years. You ain't dead in there. You have stored this stuff inside of you, and it is affecting the flow of your energy. And now the only time you can be okay is when the events are unfolding outside that don't close those things down. Or maybe they stimulate good experience. You store good experiences too, but there aren't that many. They can stimulate a good experience that reminds you, right? These call you some scars. Yoga, we call them some scars. These impressions that your past experiences have left on you. And back all the way from 4,000 years ago in the Upanishads, they teach that those some scars are what are blocking your energy flow. Isn't that neat? Freud didn't come up with the idea of suppression or repression, all right? That was Yogi saw it a long time ago. You're shoving this stuff down there, and it is blocking your energy flow. So now, making a very long story short, ready? I'm not comfortable. Well, to a yogi, that doesn't turn into a need. Do you understand that? To a regular human, that turns into a need. I'm not comfortable. What will make it feel comfortable? I need that. Right? I'm not comfortable. If I had somebody, okay, I need somebody. Do you see it? Do you see how that happened? See how not comfortable turned into a need? It didn't start with a need. It started with not comfortable. It started with a disturbance in the force. To quote Luke or somebody, right? There's a disturbance. And then you thought, what will fix it? And then by all means, if I have a disturbance, I don't want it, and somebody's going to fix it, I need it. There the word need shows up. Needs are not natural. They are the result of a problem. So I'm not comfortable, therefore a need comes, therefore I think about what to do about it, therefore I go out here and struggle and fight and have a mess of a life. Right? So the net result is you stop at the beginning. Buddhists call it working at the root. That's one of the deepest things in Buddhist tradition. You work at the root. What is the root? I'm not okay. That was the root, wasn't it? I'm not okay created the need. The need created the thought of how to go about getting it, which created all the willpower and effort of going out there and manipulating, controlling people, places, and things, taking, lying to try and get what they think they need. All right? Okay, come back to the root. I'm not okay. Now I've taught you something. The reason you're not okay is because you're blocked. You have stored all these past things in there, and they are blocking the flow of your energy, and therefore you can't feel whole. You can't feel complete. In order to feel love, somebody has to be a perfect way, don't they? They have to treat you this way, that way, and wear this. Don't show up in a bow tie. Come on, right or wrong. The heart can open and close on a dime, can't it? Doesn't take much. That's your stuff, opening and closing your heart. The only time your heart can open is when the outside world matches what you got stored in there to where it has a pathway to come through. If it doesn't, and it hits something, then you close. So the key becomes to remove the blockages. The other way is you fight forever. This way, no. If you are not blocked, or to whatever degree you're not blocked, it's not all or nothing, to whatever degree you're not blocked, more energy can flow, and you get stronger. You feel that. Remember in workout, you talk about core strength, don't you? All right? I don't know anything about that. I do yoga. I don't work out like that, okay? But I do work with core strength. This is core strength. That's the real core strength. When you feel strong enough inside to be okay, regardless of what's going on outside. You're strong to the core of your being. You're not strong because you're not conditionally strong. I'm strong because she's standing next to me. I'm strong because I have a lot of money in the bank. Okay, that's not strong. I told you in 1929, people that were very strong because they had millions of dollars in the bank, there are pictures. Don't go look them up. They're very sad. Literally pictures of men falling out of the buildings of Wall Street. They threw themselves out of the windows when the market crashed. Well, I don't think you're okay. That's not a sign of a healthy, core strength human being. That's a sign of somebody who compensated for their not okayness. I'm okay because I have millions of dollars in the bank. I'm okay because I have my wife. I'm okay because, well, then you're not okay. How do you like that? You're okay because of something. It's called conditional well-being. So you start to work at your core. Doesn't mean you don't have these things. First be okay. Then it's all fun. All right? It's all fine from then on. So the core is your blocks. So that when something happens that makes you uncomfortable, instead of saying, what do I do about it? You try to see what's blocking me. What's happening here? Now I'll go very quickly. People teach you all these techniques, which are wonderful. Anything you do to work on yourself, I'm in favor of it. If you do therapy, that's wonderful. If you do yoga, it's wonderful. If you meditate, that's wonderful. Just the fact that you're working on yourself makes you better than 99.99% of all the people that walk the face of the earth. But I will teach you the highest way to work on yourself, the highest thing to do. You'll do many other things, all right? But the highest thing is as follows. Okay, I'm blocked. I don't know why I'm blocked. Somebody wrote me the other day. I see I'm blocked, and I try to go in there and find the things and pull them out, but I'm not sure which ones they are that I should be pulling on. No, that is not how you do it, right? You wouldn't even know where to begin. You understand that? Don't do that, right? This is how you do it. You walk out into the world. Where? You walk into the world. You go to work. You go to school. You go, whatever the heck you do. I don't care what it is. You walk out into the world. And I'm going to tell you a secret. It's going to hit your stuff. You're going to feel uncomfortable lots of times. Somebody's going to beep at you because you were looking at your stupid phone, smartphone, at the light, okay? And you weren't paying attention, and the light changed, and like, right? How you doing? How you doing? Total stranger, beep, How you doing? Come on, I want to know. Heart, just fine, nothing. You feel real comfortable if he pulls up next to you. Like, oh, hi. No, you feel embarrassed, you feel stupid, or you're angry. What's wrong with people? They rush all the time. Put up with it. Something went on in there, didn't it? It hit your stuff. Now that's pretty embarrassing. Beep, hit your stuff. Then you go there and you see a friend of yours. Hey, Sam, right? And he keeps walking. Hey, hit your stuff. Hit your stuff. Watch your mind. Why? Did he not hear me? Is he mad at me? Did he find out? Oh, no, he couldn't have found. She told me she wasn't going to say anything. So you walk out there and you're a target because you got stuff. And it's going to hit your stuff. And don't tell me it's God purposely aiming at your stuff so you can grow. That's very romantic. You're welcome to think that way. What it is if you have stuff, it's going to get hit. Do you understand that? Why? Because it's your stuff. If I have stuff about I don't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, right? And then other people are walking down the street holding hands, my heart breaks. If I have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and other people are walking down the street holding hands, my heart melts. Oh, there's other people that have the thing that I love that I have. You're projecting your being on everything. Well, I want to know, which is it? The holding hands is a wonderful thing to see or a terrible thing to see? It's up to you. You're a walking target. Talking about wearing your heart on your sleeve, you wear your stuff everywhere. So every single thing you do, every single moment is about your stuff. You have a conversation with somebody. Then you walk away. Conversation's over. It's over inside your head. There's no, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, my God, that was so stupid. I forgot to say that was so impressive. Oh, why did I not say that? Nobody has that ever going on inside? What is it telling you? You can't have a conversation without your stuff getting hit. All right. So it is not about a matter of going in there and grabbing it and pulling it out. Or I know I had trouble in my youth and my uncle was mean and this happened or I was abused or whatever it was. I know back there. No, leave it alone. That's psychology wants to deal with that. That's fine. All right, it's fine. It's good. They can help you, whatever. But the truth of the matter is, you don't have to do that. Isn't that nice to know? You don't have to do that. All you have to do is this: walk out there and live your daily life. Don't change it. Just live your daily life. And it's going to hit your stuff. Big things, small things, mostly small things. It rains when you don't want it to. I have the rain. Hit your stuff. You know what I mean? If the mind's saying something about things that are none of your business, it hits your stuff. The weather's none of your business, is it? The weather's got nothing to do with you. The cars that are driving down the road have nothing to do with you. Everything's got nothing to do with you. But you got stuff, so it's all got something to do with you, doesn't it? All right? Like that driver in front of you when you're in a rush, that driver in front of you driving 15 miles below the speed limit. I can't believe it. I can't believe he knows I am late. He doesn't know anything about you. None of it is personal. It's just you projecting your stuff. You hear me? It's hitting your stuff. All right. This is how a yogi lives. Good. What? Good. Why? Because anything it hits becomes stimulated. And it comes up. What you do is you welcome it. This is true growth. So we didn't go outward. We came in and said, why am I not okay? And you're going to see all day, you'll see why you're not okay. Because everything bothers you. Well, then why does everything bother you? Because you're bothered inside. The rain does not bother you. There's nothing wrong with the rain. There's something wrong with you that the rain bothers you. And you start catching on. There's something wrong with me. All right? Then what you do is as follows. During the day, these little things happen, just tiny little things, right? I used to tell a story. I told the story a couple of times. It's embarrassing. Early in my path, right, I was traveling at a Volkswagen van, 60s guy, right? And I was driving out to California, of course. And basically, I was into yoga. I was in meditation heavy. I was living alone at that time. And I remember I was going to Alabama or something, right? It's definitely not my most comfortable place. And I went into a convenience store, and I was going to buy something. And I had some change in my hand, and I dropped it. I dropped a couple of pieces of change. And he was embarrassed. I saw that. He got very embarrassed. He didn't want to bend down and pick it up in front of these people, all right? He didn't know the people. He would never see them again for the rest of his life. I just watched him be uncomfortable, just reaching down to pick up a quarter and a penny or something like that. And then he had to walk up to the counter, and of course the guy saw him drop it, and just being embarrassed to embarrass you to see what you do all the time. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Anybody know anything about that stuff? The meaningless uncomfortableness that is the result of your blocked energy. That's all it is. It's just your stuff in there getting stimulated. Let it go. Work with that. That's how you remove the blockages. Events will make them come up. What are you going to do about it? What you normally do about it is get out of the situation as fast as you can, push it down, or mind starts talking. What do I care what the people think about me? You're going to rationalize it away. Every bit of it keeps it inside. You have to sit there and say, good, I'm glad. I'm letting this one, at least a piece of this is going to go. And what do? You relax. You always want to do something when you're uncomfortable. Do you understand that? Nobody wants to be uncomfortable, not do anything. I'm telling you, the highest thing you can do when you're uncomfortable is relax. Relax, welcome it, and let a little piece of it go. Let a little piece of it will pass because you let it. Instead of pushing it back down or rationalizing it, anything you do is an attempt to not deal with that feeling. Do you understand that? A yogi or a yogini wants to deal with that feeling. Right then, right there. I don't want this in here. I'm going to relax my way through it. So you relax. That should work. Don't expect the feeling to relax. The feeling is a releasing of the blockage. So it's going to be uncomfortable. You relax. You inside who are experiencing this, just relax. Let go. It's okay. Relax. It's okay to feel the disturbance. It's okay to feel weird at this moment. As long as you're not resisting it, you're not fighting with it, you're giving it an opportunity, you're giving it room to pass through you. And that's what you do. You start welcoming the release of these blockages. That's the highest life you can live. And you do it every moment of your life, every time, which will be constantly. The smallest disturbance, I don't care what it is. If you walk outside and it starts raining and you see her complaining and they say, what are you doing? What are you doing that to yourself for? It's not doing any good. Relax. Relax and release. Keep relaxing. And I'm telling you, that is all you have to do. Little by little, the blockages will come up because they're getting hit anyways. And instead of making a need out of them and trying to satisfy it, who the heck knows, right? Or carrying on, you just relax your way through it. And what you're doing is undoing the storage of these blockages. Over time, you will find that less and less things bother you. And more important, you will find that you're less bothered by the fact that something bothers you. So you're sitting there and you think it's fun that he got embarrassed because he dropped his change. You're watching him. It's like, he's cute as look at him, he's so cute. All right? And all of a sudden you don't mind. And the moment you don't mind, it goes. Because the only reason it stayed in there is because you couldn't handle it. You understand that? Why in the world is what happened to you when you were 5 years old still in there? It's ridiculous. It's not happening anymore. It'll never happen again. It doesn't belong in there. It's in there because you can't handle it coming back up. By relaxing, you learn to handle it. This is very important. You just keep relaxing and releasing. Relaxing and releasing. Then a bigger thing will come up. Relax and release. Then a bigger relax and release. Just keep relaxing and releasing. And someday, I guarantee you, you will start to feel that energy flow I talked to you about. Just for some reason, you'll wake up in the morning giggling. For no reason. Just giggling. And you'll start to realize, I'm happy. I never was happy before. I thought I was, but it was conditional. Now it's spontaneous. It's just there all the time. And then it will get greater and greater and greater, and there's no end to it. Very, very beautiful. So that's the alternative to need. What is? Fulfillment. You see how different those two things are? The opposite end of the spectrums. Need cannot be fulfilled, but if you release the cause of the need, what's behind it is total fulfillment, a state of absolute well-being. All right. Jai Gurudev.